Hi, I'm Brent Stafford, and this is Reg Watch by RegulatorWatch.com. It's hard to believe it could happen in Canada. A government assault on one's right to speak freely, to share information, and to engage in the operation of a lawful business without fear of penalty or fine. Well, this is the new reality facing retailers of vapor products, their employees, and even some customers in the province of Quebec. Late last year, Quebec's updated tobacco control law, Bill 44, went into effect. Following other provinces, Quebec conjoined vapor products to its tobacco legislation, now regulating it by the same tough anti-smoking standards. But vaping is not smoking, a fact the Legislative Committee examining the bill all but ignored. The Quebec National Assembly unanimously adopted the new legislation despite testimony from prominent Quebec doctors and presentations of credible research that recognize vaping as a safer alternative to smoking. Research in support of vaping is starting to pile up. The Mayo Clinic, one of the most prestigious hospital and medical research groups in the world, just released results of a groundbreaking e-cigarette study. Recognizing that smokers face a higher risk of complications following surgery, the Mayo Clinic provided electronic nicotine delivery devices to patients both before and after their surgeries. Patients were encouraged to use the devices whenever they craved a cigarette. The results are noteworthy. For each patient, daily cigarette consumption was cut in half, and after 30 days, 17% reported complete abstinence from smoking. The Mayo Clinic concluded e-cigarette use is feasible and well accepted as a harm reduction strategy for patients. Clearly, this study demonstrates that e-cigarettes are proving to be an effective tool to quit smoking, not to mention safe enough for doctors to give to their patients. The Mayo Clinic study is a good example of the kind of valuable information that Canadian retailers of vaping products routinely share with their customers, which they can do freely in every province except Quebec. Quebec's new anti-vaping law delivers the obligatory ban on use in public spaces and in the workplace, which includes inside vape shops, the prohibition on sale to minors, and a ban on advertising and promotion. But this is where it gets tricky. Regulators at the Ministry of Health have interpreted the advertising and promotion ban to include any and all communications that show vaping in a positive light, meaning retailers and their employees are now barred from sharing positive news stories, articles, and medical research with customers. Indeed, if a Quebec retailer shared this video with a customer, they could face fines in the thousands of dollars. RegulatorWatch.com reached out to the Canadian Vaping Association and Quebec retailers to learn what chilling effect these new regulations are having on the vaping industry in Quebec. Stephanie, thanks for joining us. You work at the Canadian Vaping Association and you also work for a vape shop in Quebec. Please tell our viewers what's going on in terms of the clampdown on free speech.
Over the last few weeks, we've been learning more and more about the restrictions that have been in place since we're considered tobacco products. As a matter of fact, Facebook, for example, where we used to inform our customers about trends or security issues, or even possible health benefits through scientific studies, all those are currently illegal. We can't share that information as a store, and the vendors are also restricted, as are their employees.
That's astonishing. Does this mean the Mayo Clinic study we just highlighted, you wouldn't be allowed to share that on Facebook?
Absolutely not. It's considered a promotional tool. Well, we're not allowed to give out information anymore that's positively related to vaping.
So if an inspector sees that post online and deems it advertising, even though it's only information, they could issue a fine. So how big could those fines be?
Some of the fines will start at $5,000, and in case of the offense being repeated, they can go up to $1 million.
So what's the impact been so far?
It's frustrating on every aspect for the shops, the vendors, where they can't share the information that's so important and vital to their customers. They might just continue to smoke, seeing as they're perceiving the product as being less safe since it's just another tobacco product rather than what it is, an electronic cigarette that has nothing to do with tobacco.
Stephanie, what's the impact been on you?
It's frustrating and it's restrictive. My background is marketing. I've always been very social online, and that's the one place where I truly express myself. Not being able to do that and literally it being against the law, There is a lot of shame that comes with that, and that community that I was a part of, I don't get that feedback and that encouragement anymore like I used to, and absolutely, it's frustrating.
Stephanie, for our Quebec viewers who want to learn more and possibly help out, what can they do?
Mais on aimerait vraiment entendre de vous, puis avoir vos informations, vos coordonnées. Alors, vous pouvez nous contacter sur CVA, sur la page Facebook ou sur notre site Internet. Vous êtes toujours les bienvenus, puis on apprécie votre aide.
Alan, thanks for joining us. You are the co-owner of a highly successful vape shop in the Montreal area and a member of the Canadian Vaping Association. Fill us in on the impact so far from the new regulations.
Well, the original posting of the law before it passed looked bad, but okay, we can work with that. Once it got turned into rulemaking by the ministry, then all kinds of funny things came out.
From what I understand, Alan, there's been changes to the way you communicate the price of your products in store.
Inside the store, everything has to be out of reach of the clients, behind glass cases. In the display cases, articles cannot have prices or descriptions alongside them at all.
So you're no longer allowed to put price tags on your products?
They're forcing us to either verbally respond to every request for a price, or forcing us to put up the pricing for everything in the store within a limited area of 4 square feet. That is, you could have a sign of, say, 2 feet by 2 feet, and that would hold all your article descriptions and pricing for the whole store. But it's impossible to do so when you have 200 products.
It sounds like the Quebec government is deliberately trying to harm your business, a legal business, I might add.
By blindly calling our business the same thing as tobacco, yeah, they're trying to kill us the same way they're trying to kill the tobacco industry. They have not recognized the fact that we are not tobacco. We are in a completely different system for delivering nicotine, and we're a solution for people who are tired of sucking poisonous gases into their lungs.
And Alan, vendors are also now being restricted from communicating the benefits of that solution?
We cannot pass out any articles of any kind, of any nature. No information about vaping is allowed to pass from our lips or our hands into those of the consumer. So other than telling them how a product works and how to use it and so on and so forth, I can't say something like, well, if you use this, you should go get that New England Journal, or the recent study by British, Greek, and Italian researchers on the lowering of blood pressure by using vape versus smoking. I'm not allowed to convey that information to them.
Who told you that you're not allowed to share that information?
Actually, the inspector made a comment because I have a book written by a French doctor that I had on the coffee table in our store, as well as some vape magazines. And she told us that we had to remove all of that material and that we were not allowed to convey such material to our clients.
And does that go for online as well?
Absolutely. I've already been told by the ministry that I had to take certain things off my Facebook page as well as my website. They are monitoring that. One anecdote I heard was that if, say, you have a client post something positive about your store, then they will begin monitoring that person to try to figure out if they are your agent to promote your store. So if you have one of those customers who's absolutely delighted with your fine service and your good products, touting that a little too loudly and a little too often, then they can come back and accuse you of using that person as an agent of advertising to get around the advertising laws.
All of this taken together sounds like suppression of free speech.
It's absolute suppression of free speech.
What's the industry doing to fight back?
Canadian Vaping Association has made huge inroads in Quebec over the last couple months to sign up more stores. There are over 100 stores in Quebec who are now members of the CVA and, of course, contributing to the pot. And the CVA is exploring the means to legally challenge these rules. We're not taking it sitting down. We're angry, we're organized, and we're moving forward.
Well, that's it for this edition of Reg Watch. Before you head off, please like us on Facebook and don't forget to follow us on Twitter. For RegulatorWatch.com, I'm Brent Stafford.